driving force of beta formation from alpha. Delta G is proportional to delta T. You know, delta G, we can write it as delta H multiplied by delta T over TE. So it is proportional to delta T. So at delta T equal to 0, R dot will be 0. There is no driving force for growth. So at delta T equal to 0, R dot is 0. And if you note this term, at T equal to 0, this will become 0. At absolute 0 temperature, this is 0 means this is infinity, 1 over an exponential minus, this means 1 over exponential delta this by this. So 1 over infinity is 0. So this is 0. At absolute temperature, this is 0. At T equal to TE, this is 0. So at both of these, so at temperature in between, there will be finite growth rate. So the physical picture is very similar to what you found in nucleations. Here also, it is driving force is necessary for the growth. Part of driving force is necessary for growth. So driving force depends on undercooling. So at 0 undercooling, at the equilibrium transformation temperature, there is no growth rate. At very low temperature, when T tends to 0, then although there is high driving force, but there is restraint in atom movement because of that activation barrier. So it is kind of proportional to some kind of diffusivity. So at low temperature, atomic movement is difficult, so it is 0. At certain high intermediate temperature, it will be maximum. Growth rate will be maximum. Okay, growth rate. So it is kind of the same nucleation and how it varies. At a particular temperature, you note that at a particular temperature your undercooling is fixed. The growth rate is constant. Growth rate is not changing. The steady state growth rate is constant. In this derivation, we did not consider any latent heat formation and how, if any latent heat forms. For example, solidification case, lots of latent heat formation value is around 10 kilojoule per millimole. It's significant amount. It increases the temperature at the interface. Now, the temperature of the interface can be found out by steady state thing, that how much latent heat is forming and how quickly you are dissipating it, and it is going away from the interface. So those considerations need to be taken into account for growth in solidification. But for solid state transformation, this latent heat formation is around 1/10 of what you find in solidification case. So there you can ignore the latent heat dissipation too. So this simple model which says that growth rate is proportional to the driving force, you can use it for polymorphic transformation, not in solidification or solid growth in liquid. it is no more. So previously we discussed in single component system. If it is two component system, then there are two things. One is atom has to move from whatever bulk to the interface, and the atom has to jump. So two different things. Okay. So one is interfacial reaction, another is the diffusion reaction. So if it is at a very early stage, when it is small, available interfacial area is less. So interface reaction is, and also there is usually for continuous transformation, there is some supersaturation, and so this and at the interface some equilibrium composition of beta with alpha, so equilibrium composition in the alpha with beta. So this concentration gradient is much high. So diffusion is faster, but available area is small. So at the early stage of growth, interfacial reaction becomes a slower process among these two. So interfacial reaction meaning interfacial is diffusion. Slower at early stage of growth. As the growth is happening, it's growing more, so available interface is, when it is large, available interface is large, so interface reaction becomes faster, and also with time the supersaturation of the matrix comes down. So this gradient becomes slow, concentration gradients in the matrix is low, so diffusion becomes slower. So at later stage diffusion step becomes slowest, just what. When I say interfacial reaction, this is also diffusion across the interface. And this diffusion, when I am talking about this diffusion, this is the long range diffusion in the matrix that I am talking about. So usually let us first take derive models for growth rate for individually, if it is individual extreme cases, if it is say only interface reaction control, and then we will consider if it is only diffusion control, if diffusion is the source code, and after that let us we will consider if it is a mixed mode control growth process. Now if it is an interfacial reaction control, your diffusion in the matrix is considered to be very fast. That means there is no profile no concentration profile in the matrix side. If this is the product that is growing in the parent side, there is no concentration profile. The concentration at a particular time, say instantaneous, some Ct, when it started, the concentration was say Ci, initial concentration of the supersaturated solid solution started with Ci at particular time Ct, and when enough time will be done, then the alpha composition in equilibrium with beta, say that is Ce, will be reached. But at any point of time in the matrix, there will not be any concentration profile because we assume diffusion is faster. Also note that this, if this is our concentration axis, if we are drawing like this concentration in the y-axis, our C beta is, so here is a break in this scale because C beta will be much higher. If you see the phase diagram, like your alpha is this here and beta will be the other side. If in the, for example, aluminum copper, the CuAl2 that forms, the atomic percent of beta in CuAl2 will be around 33 atomic percent, and whereas the concentration of copper in here it will be around 2.5 atomic percent or so. So C beta is much higher than Ce. This is Ce. At that temperature, so you are solutionizing, you have single phase alpha, you are quenching, say you have single phase alpha here, you are quenching, so that composition is Ci initial, but this is the equilibrium composition of alpha Ce. Okay, you understood the situation, but both Ci and Ce are much less than C beta. So that's why we are writing up above with giving a break up above C beta. So with respect to C beta, Ce is much less, Ci is much less, so Ct also much less. Got the situation? Now number of atoms going from this to this side per unit area per unit time is proportional to ultimately the matrix parent composition has to reach Ce. So at a particular time there is a driving force from Ct to Ce. At an instantaneous concentration in the parent phase is Ct. So this difference Ct minus Ce is your driving force. So number of atoms going from this side to this side per unit area per unit time should be proportional to this gap in the concentration. So that number of atoms per unit area per unit time, let us denote it by psi at a particular time t is equal to some constant psi naught multiplied by Ct minus Ce. Now activation barrier of crossing of an atom across this interface. Let us assume that activation barrier of crossing of an atom from this side to this side is independent of the composition, whether it is Ci or Ct or Ce. As the time goes, the activation barrier is not changing. That's what we are assuming here.
Sir, how do you measure the concentration for a practical?
Concentration in the parent phase?
Yeah.
The concentration in the parent phase, whatever way you measure. Concentration means the composition. How do you measure composition?
Yeah.
Tell me, how do you measure composition? What technique do you use? The spectroscopy technique?
EDX.
Correct. So at different time during the growth, you take out the sample, you quench the sample, take out, and whatever way you measure the composition in the matrix, you do. So that way you will find that at different time, just after quenching, some composition was there, which is Ci, and you know that from the phase diagram Ce, or after, if you hold a particular sample for long time, then you will find the alpha composition, which is kind of near equilibrium Ce, and at a particular time in between, you will get a composition here. Okay, that's not a problem. psi naught, this thing, psi naught is a function of temperature. What?
What is shine?
Oh, you did not listen to that. This is number of atoms per unit area per unit time. That is crossing from alpha to beta. That is proportional to this driving force. That's what I mean.
The city is constant or it varies?
No, it varies. Right? It's a function of time. T is time. So concentration in the parent phase is a function of time. It is varying from initial concentration to the equilibrium concentration as the time goes. There is no concentration profile in the parent phase. We are assuming diffusion to be very fast. Ultimately, it will reach CE. At a particular instant, it is yet to reach CE, so the concentration is this. This difference is that if it is more number of atoms per unit area per unit time will go to the other side. As it goes down, this is less. Okay. Now this number of atoms going from this side to this side, if you do the mass balance, that if this interface goes towards this, grows at a rate r dot, then r dot multiplied by this r dot multiplied by C beta minus Ct, because that side is C beta, this side is Ct, should be equal to, so if this interface is coming here, that means this C beta minus Ct multiplied by this r dot should be equal to that many number of atoms going from this side to that side per unit area per unit time. So that should be equal to your psi. Everyone got this point? R dot equal to R dot multiplied by C beta. What is the concentration difference across the interface? C beta minus Ct should be equal to number of atoms. So this is just the mass balance, that equation that we are going to do. And after that we are taking one approximation coming from this. We can assume with respect to C beta the Ct is so low that we can assume it to be Ce. With respect to C beta, Ct or Ce is both are very small. We are assuming in terms of we are assuming Ct in place of Ct we are writing Ce. The difference won't change much. Okay, so we have an equation relating psi to r dot. So r dot is equal to psi is psi naught Ct minus Ce divided by C beta minus Ce. This is your r dot, that is the growth rate of that. So your growth rate of the product when you are assuming interfacial reaction is the slowest step will be given by that. Now fraction transform or fraction untransformed should be given by, so this much has to be transformed. Ct has to come to Ce. Ci has to come to Ce. So fraction yet to be transformed is, C is here. So Ct minus Ce divided by Ci minus Ce. So fraction yet to be transformed is Ct minus Ce divided by Ci minus Ce. Ci minus Ce is initial concentration of the parent phase. C is the ultimately after long time equilibrium concentration of the parent phase. This has to be done. Now this is yet to be done. So fraction untransformed 1 minus y is given by this. So Ct minus Ce is nothing but Ci minus Ce multiplied by 1 minus y. So we can write here that R dot expression we wrote. What is R dot? Hey, in the previous polymorphic transformation, check in your R dot whether I wrote the lambda or not. In the final step also I wrote. Fine. So R dot is given by psi naught divided by C beta minus Ce, Ci minus Ce multiplied by 1 minus y. Is it? Ct minus Ce is this one. Ct minus Ce, the numerator there. I just wrote 1 minus y multiplied by this, multiplied by psi naught divided by C beta minus Ce. So note that, so R dot as the reaction progresses, R dot keeps on decreasing. Okay, because your metric supersaturation comes down. So R dot keeps on decreasing. From, you know the initial concentration of the parent phase. That is where you know the actually your alloy. So you know Ci. You know from phase diagram Ce what should be at a particular temperature where you are holding. The phase diagram will give you Ce. C beta also you know. Ce no. Psi naught is constant at a particular temperature, which is varying with temperature. So all this is constant multiplied by something which is with the progress of growth is decreasing. So R dot keeps on decreasing at the very initial stage. When 1 minus y, when y tends to 0, y tends to 0, 1 minus y tends to 1. At the very initial stage, then R dot will be constant. That means the linear dimension with time that will follow a linear relation. But after that it will come down. It will come down of the below the linear part. And for a particular fraction transform, say at different temperature you are holding. Say you are quenching and holding at different temperature. And you feel, and for a particular fraction transform, you measure the growth rate. So if